Hello Aquarius, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aquarius for the week of May 9th. Now Aquarius, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform. So if you get a message from someone, that is not me, that's someone impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. Let's go ahead and do one more shuffle here. Wow, having a rough go at the shuffling the cards, but probably a reason for it. At any rate, if you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. All right. Let's go ahead and see what we have going on here. We'll make sure everything is in view. All right, Aquarius, let's go ahead and put the deck right there, and then I'll also take 1, 2, 3 Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. All right. Aquarius, so your energy here is definitely showing up in this Queen of Swords card. I don't always, I say that this could be any air sign, but I definitely am seeing you showing up in that energy pretty heavily here. In the past has been, there's been this period of needing to let go of something here in the past, but it's more about, that's not really the phrase that's coming into my mind. It's more about there's been resistance in the past, and this is about which place to go. And I don't even mean like physically, like moving. I mean about something else. This is a more general life energy that I'm getting. Like you've been thinking about which place to go in your life recently, and you will be making a choice here. You will be making a firm decision here in the future. So let's dive into this a little bit more. So right away in the middle, you do have this Two of Wands. Look, you can see this person's clearly at a fork in the road. They're at a crossroads and they need to decide or choose between two paths, two options, two decisions, make decisions here, and or two decisions to make here. And I guess some of you, I feel like, have that energy right now where you feel like you have two things that you need to. I'm getting this interesting message here where it's like kind of, I'm having a hard time getting it out, but it's like you have to make two decisions. It's almost like not only are you at a fork in the road, but it's almost like there are multiple forks. Like you have a fork here and then you have a fork over there. It's like you have two decisions to make and multiple paths to go for each set of decisions. That's what I'm feeling. Like it's almost like there's been a lot on your plate here, Aquarius, and this has led you to maybe feel almost like locked, almost like resisting. Resisting is the word. There's another word that's coming to mind right now. It's frozen. Frozen is the word. I said locked, but I meant like these multiple decisions that you have to make are leaving you feeling frozen a little bit here. And I want to also refer you to a reading I did recently. The title of the video is A Message from Another Dimension, and it's a collective reading where I brought in the word hike. And just taking a look at the scenery here, I feel like some of you may need to actually go on a hike. I know this is very specific, but I would take a look at that Message from Another Dimension reading because I do feel like there's maybe something in there. In the past, you have the Hanging Man and the Queen of Swords. So this is, I got a very strong kind of wave of energy here when I looked at that Queen of Swords. This is you, okay? And what's really interesting about this combination of cards is the Queen of Swords will cut through anything that is no longer serving them. Okay, they go at something with an intense focus. There's no looking back. When you cross a Queen of Swords, there's no going back, okay? Consider yourself officially crossed when you cross the Queen of Swords, right? And what's interesting here is you have the Hanging Man, which is opposite energy. This is about somebody who is resisting. This is about somebody who needs to let go. This is about something that's got to give in your life. And what this person needs to do is cut the cable and see what happens when they free fall. Right now they're suspended in air. They're not doing much of anything other than maybe thinking, meditating, but they're not taking action. Queen of Swords, taking her sword, or their sword rather, and because I don't attach gender to the cards, taking their sword rather, and cutting here, cutting this cable. And so what I like here is some of you have recognized, you've been mindful that there's been some type of resistance here, and you figured out how to successfully cut the resistance, cut the dead weight, let it go. Now, in the future, this is even getting more clear. So I remember I said you have like this interesting energy of like you have sets of decision, multiple decisions, 2 or more decisions that you need to make, and also 2 or more forks in the road, which is very clear and almost never comes in with that 2 of Wands, but you have the Sun and the Knight of Swords. This is you being able to clearly handle all the tasks and priorities that are being put on your plate at this time. The Sun is a major energy of power. You can see that the planets revolve around the Sun. And so if you take all of that type of power and you put it into a tarot card, you have the Sun. This is the best card to find in a reading, and it really augments the positive cards around it. And so not only do we have this Queen of Swords here in the past, which is your energy, but next to it, directly next to it, is the Knight of Swords, which is taking advantage of opportunities, seizing the day, and going for it. This is a major card of taking action. Okay, Knights can represent events that maybe feel a little bit chaotic coming into your life, but I don't feel that here because you have this sort of easing energy with the Sun's influence next to it. For you, this is doubling down on your ability to take action on, I think, multiple decisions that you have to make. Multiple decisions, multiple forks in the road that you have to decide on. And I think this is really drilling the point home that you have more than enough capability and ability to do that, or to make those decisions rather. So let's go ahead and move up the pyramid. So you have the Nine of Swords, you have the Three of Cups, the Devil, and the Page of Wands. Okay, so I almost wonder if maybe some of you were thinking, or I wonder if some of you are maybe getting 2 messages here. There's like a focus that needs to be had at this time, okay? The Queen of Swords is your energy in this reading, and the Queen of Swords, as I've said before, has an intense focus on something. The Three of Cups might be somebody who likes to party next to the Devil. All right, the Three of Cups is actually a very good card. You can see the 3 friends here, or the 3 sisters dancing on the cups above. And, you know, this represents letting loose, enjoying yourself, joy, celebration, good times with others. It can also refer to your social circle, the company that you keep, your friend group, could be your family, anything like that. Now, the thing is that the Devil's influence is next to it. And the Devil is a card of our shadows. It can be a card of addictions. It can be a card of sex, gambling, drugs, alcohol, rock and roll, and all of those sorts of things. But it's not always about substances. Remember, the Devil, there are so many things in where we are as a society right now that where we can easily get addicted to. For example, Netflix, video games, food. The abundance of food and calories that we have can easily lead, and it has led to many people becoming addicted to food. And so think about it that way. Now, you could, of course, be putting something off here, okay? And so with the Nine of Swords, this person is sort of having a nightmare. They're kind of staying up late at night and realizing, like in the middle of the night, oh my gosh, like I need to do this. There's something going on here. This is the energy that I'm feeling, where it's like, for some of you, you've been having a good time, which is great. You should absolutely have good times. It's good to have good energy and enjoy yourself. But it can become a problem, and I'm saying this because the Devil's influence is next to it. It can become a problem when you're not getting the other things that you need to get done. And so there's a grounding that needs, some of you need to ground, okay? And this is where the hike is coming in. Hiking is an incredible way to ground yourself, to put yourself in nature. And more specifically, if you can put your bare feet on the ground, you can put your left hand on a tree. I'm not telling you to hug the tree, although I don't feel like that would be bad, but your left hand is your receiving hand. And so putting your left hand on a tree is very good for grounding energy. Putting yourself just generally out in nature, and maybe even, there's another message here coming in, like Whole Foods is also, I think, not the store, but eating whole foods is important at this time. And I think this can act as a sort of grounding for you. And this will put you in a better sort of pathway to taking this action here with the Knight of Swords. You have this Page of Wands as well, which is an opportunity that's coming in quickly in your life. This could be in career, but it could be in your life. Let's see what else we have here. Let's get these three clarifiers. This opportunity here for many of you will be in work. The occupation card can refer to obviously what it is that you do for money. This can be either self-employment or traditional employment if you work for somebody, but you have really good luck associated with this. You can see the 777 on the slot machine there. And obviously casinos are associated with luck. So is Jupiter. We have some Jupiter energy coming up here. Actually during this week that I'm looking at, not when the reading will be released, but for this week of May 9th, we have Jupiter moving into Aries here on May 11th. And so there is some luck involved in your situation at this time. And I think this might be career related. I also think some of you are just taking action in those areas. Family room's interesting. I do feel like maybe some of you work from home, but I also think maybe some of you, there may be something involving the family unit here, which may be showing up with that Three of Cups. Like you may need to have an important conversation with a family member or take action relating to something with family. Let's go ahead and see what this might be. Okay, so you have the Six of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Cups, and you have the High Priestess. Okay, so the Six of, this, really not surprised, the Six of Cups, or excuse me, the Six of Pentacles here, this is an exchange of energy. You can see there's a flow of energy going on in this card. You can see that in the fact that they are giving money away, that they are giving resources away. That's a flow of energy. That's a flow of resources. And the idea is that as this person gives, they also receive. So it's the idea that the act of giving is just as important as receiving. This is an equal exchange of giving and receiving within the universe. Some of you are like, okay, if I'm in this friend situation here, if I'm in this friend group, or if I'm like doing things I don't want to do just to try to fit in, like you're going to stop giving to that. You're going to stop pouring that cup over, and ultimately you're going to stop draining your own cup to make other people happy. You're going to start giving back to yourself in a way here. You have this Nine of Cups as well, which is about a wish being granted or a wish come true in your life. This is about wish fulfillment. And this is truly one of the happiest cards to find. It's like a feeling of bliss. It's like a happiness pill. And it's saying, look, here you have this Devil and the Three of Cups energy here. Working through the shadow will absolutely lead you to a really nice outcome. You also have this High Priestess energy, which is about something that is subtle in your life. This could be, the High Priestess is literally emerging from water, and they have just retrieved some information that they did not previously have, or they did not previously understand. And so it can talk about hidden knowledge, it can talk about higher knowledge, it can talk about intuition. It's the biggest card of intuition to find in the tarot. And this can also show up as somebody who is a way shower in your life, like quite literally anybody who's showing you a specific, who's acting as a way shower. You could also be doing that. Let's see what else we have here. You have the Five of Wands, and you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a conflict here showing up. This is a conflict with a group, maybe somebody in your social circle or a family unit. I'm not really getting workplace conflicts. In fact, your workplace, like, I think if anything, you're making decisions in those areas and you're acting in those areas. But I also see the Five of Wands, you can see they're literally sparring on the card. So it talks about conflict, and the Seven of Wands is about competition, okay? It comes forward oftentimes when Well, the thing is, you can't get to the Seven of Wands without being successful, because the card that comes before it is the Six. You have the Five and the Seven. Right in between those two cards is the Six of Wands, which is about victory. And the thing is, once you do attain some level of success, the reality is that some people are going to want what you have. And that is what shows up with the Seven of Wands. So really the message is to persevere and to stand your ground. If you believe in something that you're doing, don't let anyone talk you off of that situation. That may be happening here with this Three of Cups energy. At the top of the pyramid, you have the Hermit card. This is Virgo energy. I wanted to say Virgo as soon as the card came out. Some of you coming up with a health routine. Some of you coming up with a really important health routine here in this week. And I also think during the next year with this Jupiter transit for you here, some of you coming up with a really important health routine, and also kind of learning the importance of going within and finding the messages that are coming from within you and from your guides in your spirit team, and not necessarily needing to find the answers from other people, specifically when the questions you are asking are about you. Do you understand? And so yeah, at the bottom of the deck here, you have this Eight of Swords, some type of interference going on here between you and yourself, or between you and a group of people, or both, and you are successfully working through that. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next reading.